Chocolate Hazelnut podcast. I'm Chocolate.
I'm Hazelnut.
And this is our show. So today we have a little bit of a story to tell you, and I'm going to let Hazelnut get into it.
All right. So,
but first, don't forget to do what?
Like, comment,
and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for notification of new videos. And we're going to be trying to be more consistent by dropping on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So just look out for our videos.
All right. So today I'm going to read a post that was put in the subreddit Am I the A-hole on Reddit, obviously. And we're going to explore this a little bit. All right?
And yes, you are.
Okay.
You look like you want to say something.
So
go ahead. Show the people how you really are behind the scenes. How you be rolling your eyes and neck. That smile y'all see right there, that she just stabbed me a few times, just so you know.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. It says, "It's am I the a-hole?"
I gave you an answer already.
Hush now. Am I the a-hole for going off on my husband after he made a joke during his groom speech? Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the original poster explained, quote, I'm prefacing this by saying that I, female 30, always struggled with self-esteem. I'm an introvert, anxious, socially awkward type of person, which makes it worse. I got introduced to makeup during my late 20s, and it has now become both a source of income and source of self-esteem and confidence. My now husband always teased me about it. Mind you, he's a jokester and is a bit of a sarcastic, brutally honest person. I didn't have an issue as long as it was done privately, meaning private teasing. At our wedding, I went a bit out of box when it came to makeup, but it looked matching and fitting, obviously. My husband didn't stop commenting on it during the wedding. I was beginning to get annoyed, but when it was time for his groom speech, he looked at me and then said, quote, and my wife here who looks like a department store mannequin with all that makeup on her face, end quote. I was dumbfounded. Guests started laughing at me loosely. I felt so much rage I didn't know how to contain it. I waited till his parents were around, then I went off on him about what he said. He said it was just a joke and I took it too personally. I argued with him about how I felt regarding his teasing in public, but he insisted I blew it out of proportion and ruined the atmosphere for the wedding as well as humiliated him in front of his parents when I scolded him like he was a kid. He soaked for about 3 days. Oh my gosh, I can't read today. Then he told me that I needed to apologize for this negative vibe I brought upon him and for reacting so insanely over a joke. Oh, it took me forever to get through that. I don't know what I was doing. All right, go ahead. So, thoughts?
I will say, because it was the wedding, that was not the appropriate place to make that type of joke. That's like when the preacher says, if anybody has an objection to this marriage, speak now and forever hold your peace. And somebody saying, I do.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. That's not funny.
Yeah.
I understand her being irate. And I don't even mind her airing her feelings out, in this case, in front of the parents, so that they know that this is inappropriate. And maybe they will say, hey, son, you're about to be a married man. You need to grow up. You need to take into consideration of your wife's feelings before you do something like this. And if he had an issue like he told her with the makeup, maybe she should have made some adjustments. I don't I don't know how easy or hard that is. And quite honestly, she needs to get some therapy. He should have really considered how she feels before making that joke. He knows that she's insecure about that, so he might have done that trying to be funny, but he could have also been doing that just to make her feel a certain way.
I think that it's twofold. One, like obviously they've been together long enough for them to even be going down the aisle to the wedding. And she
So 90
says,
days.
I mean, even at 90 days, like she's already said that, he teases her in private. She can deal with it in private, but not so much in public. And especially on your actual wedding day, she said he had been making comments the whole time, and you use your speech, your groom speech, when everybody's eyes and ears are on you to make a comment.
And I'm
To
like, that's
instead
a
of
part.
saying, "My wife is beautiful, I'm so lucky, I love her," whatever it is, you use that as an insult to her, which is almost like a slap in the face.
Oh, that is.
Because
I would say
if
it
she
is a
doesn't
slap in the
feel
face.
if she doesn't feel beautiful because you've been commenting negatively about her, and then you gaslight her later because you decide to sulk and be mad for 3 days
I don't
and
think.
demand her apologize to you for the joke that you made.
I think you mean you're trying to manipulate her. Because
It's gaslighting. And
gaslighting is trying to
well,
make
no,
someone
because
believe
he
something
told
that's not
her,
true.
no, gaslighting is when you take something that somebody says and you basically just like either make it seem like it's not as big of a deal, or you try to put them down or whatever. Like, basically, she said, "You hurt my feelings by doing this. You humiliated me at my wedding." And then you said, "You're throwing it out of proportion. It was just a joke. Chill out." But then you get mad and say, "Now I'm ruining your day." That's gaslighting and manipulative.
So, excuse me,
Your excuse.
that that water was scrumptious. So gaslighting,
According to
uh, just the internet,
Google.
Google,
Okay.
Oxford Dictionary, is manipulating someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanctity. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self doubt and confusion in the victim's mind.
All right. So with
So
that being said,
you are correct.
so with that being said, basically,
You didn't hear me, did you?
I did, but I'm not going to be like you. But I'm just going to give you the side eye. You know. So with all that being said, though, like literally, I will say that this in and of itself, is a warning, as to how their marriage is going to go. I'm not saying that it won't work or it can't work, but I will say that she has to really prepare herself to put in the work to make it work. The other thing is just like, if he is invalidating your feelings now, like I'm not even gonna go into what the relationship was like up until the wedding, because literally, like, people get married and expect, roses and sunflowers and all of that stuff. You knew what type of person you had before you got married 99% of the time. Like, people are not just gonna automatically change the day after the wedding or the day of the wedding. They're the same person. But with all of that being said, now that you are married and you're trying to commit your life to this person, like, you don't expect a lot much like much more to change. It's only going to get more drastic and be that much hurtful, because you know over time, over years, however long, and especially if you have kids and you're still putting up with this dismissive behavior, downplaying your feelings, playing the victim, manipulating, and all of that, is going to continue, and it's going to take a lot of work to help
Um,
their marriage pull through. That's what I will
so,
say.
so I would say this been going on since they were dating. He knew
Mm-hmm.
that she had low self esteem and he chips away at it.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell her, go ahead and get that annulment and walk away. And you know how I feel about divorces. It's it's not something I advocate. I believe that marriage should be forever, but if you're knowingly walking into a situation where It may not be physical abuse, but it's mental abuse, manipulation. You might want to think twice about it. I'm pretty sure her family and friends at the end of the day was like, girl, that was totally uncalled for because that was just disrespectful. He messed up her wedding day. Me, I'm gonna tell you, it's been, I don't care if I have a ceremony or not. It's for her, and I would never dream on messing up my future wife or technically wife's day because it was after everything was said and done. I would feel terrible.
I mean, for me, it's just a simple lack of accountability and then playing the victim. Like, you, not only had you been making comments all night, then at your speech, you said something that hurt her to the point of her, like, quote unquote, scolding you like a child in front of your parents. And instead of saying, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, I was trying to be funny, but I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, you said you're blowing it out of proportion. It was just a joke. Then you turn around and sulk over it because now you ruined everybody else's vibe and now you need to apologize. No.
Yeah, he just
No.
he just needs to grow up. He's not a man. He's a child in a
But
man's body. But
let us know what you guys think though. Like, do you agree, disagree? Like, how would you have handled the situation?
I'd have stomped him out.
Please let us know. Also, again, make sure you hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button, and check us out.
All right.